Do you want to play attacking openings with a gambit style? You came to the right place. I'm going to show you one of the famous openings for white called Scotch Gambit. And I use it also in my games. I get a very, very good result with this opening. I'm going to discover for you the full ideas and will give you the brief explanation how you can play it in your games. Let's be together and see how this opening can be played. After e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. After d4, pawn takes d4. If we capture the d4 pawn with knight, we will go to the Scotch game opening. But as I told you, this is the Scotch Gambit opening. We are going to sacrifice our pawn on d4. We are going to play bishop c4. Our idea is so simple. We want to develop our pieces fast and catch our opponent king as fast as possible. So after bishop c4, black has a multiple ideas. Knight f6, he can play knight f6, he can play bishop c5, and he can play bishop b4 check also. There are some other moves also like d6 also. I will try to cover all of them for you. I will start by the weakest move here, bishop b4 check. If your opponent plays bishop b4 check, you have to play c3, and after d takes c3, pawn takes c3. It seems that we lost the pawn for nothing and we are completely pawn down, and this is the dangerous position of the game. If he makes a one mistake, game is over. For example, if he plays bishop e7 and right immediately in the opening, we are going to catch him. Queen d5 and the game is lost. Why? Because going to attack the f7 pawn and no one can defend the position. If he play knight h6, our bishop here to simply capture the knight and game will be easily over. So if you play bishop c5, this is another move. It's going to be refuted by a nice tactic. We can take on f7, king takes f7, and then queen d5 check. After that, we are going to take our piece back. And what happened in the position? Black lost his castling right. He cannot make castling anymore. So watch out, don't trade the queens. Keep the queens on the board, develop your pieces, and you can catch him. So instead of this move, the best move for black is to playing bishop a5. But even after this, also after castling, and here also black facing a difficult choices. For example, if he plays bishop b6, we can go for the attack like with the moves bishop a3, just controlling this diagonal, and it's a very important diagonal. And if he plays knight e7, we can aim for e5 move. This is an interesting move. I want to just not to allow him to play d6, and later on I want to bring my rook to the game, and if I bring my knight to the game also, game will be over. So after castle, rook e1, we can just stop here, because if you can watch the game, you can see that black cannot do anything and he's in a very big trouble. So let's come back to the main position. So here, what we analyzed is bishop b4 check was a dangerous line for black. Instead of this, black can play bishop b4. Instead of bishop b4, he can play bishop c5 move. But actually, bishop c5 is like one of the main lines. It can transpose to the Italian opening. We are going to play c3. And here also there are some traps for black also. If you fall for that, game will be decided immediately. For example, if you take on c3, and now you are going to get back your pawn with bishop f7, king f7, same tactic, we already talked about it before. And if he tries like to do something like d3, it's one of the ways to give back the pawn. We will have a good position with white. We can continue the game. And if he plays knight f6, this is the main move of the opening. We can take on d4, but I'm telling you, this move is the main line of this theory, and you are going to enter to the Italian system. But if you don't want it, and if you want to keep on the attacking style, I suggest you to play e5. So this move is interesting. Maybe the opponents can make some mistake here. For example, if they make a knight e4, we can just simply play bishop d5 and attack the knight here, and knight doesn't have any place to come back. He has to play d5 here, then we will play bishop b5, and after knight e4, we will take on d4 immediately. So we are asking this bishop where to come back. If we do check, we can play bishop d2 simply and then aiming for castling. And if he comes back with the bishop on b6, we can play knight c3 and keeping our castle idea. We are not castling yet because we have some interesting ideas. For example, if he plays bishop g4, most of the players are doing this kind of things. You are going to play h3. This is a fantastic way of playing this system. What is the idea of this move? You are going to say that after bishop f3, pawn takes f3 is a brilliant move by white. So he has to capture the knight on c3. So our center is completely defended. And now look at to my idea. After castling, I'm going to push f4, and later on I'm going to play queen g4 castling, and then king h1 and bringing the rook to g1. I start attack on the g file. So it looks like my king position is unsafe, but no, don't make a mistake. Our position is completely safe, and we can start our attack here. As a best move here for black, we can say that castling is best. So we can play bishop e3 defending our center. If he plays bishop g4, we can play h3, the same idea. After bishop h5, we can play queen c2. This is an important idea to attack the knight. Still, this idea is there. If you play bishop g6, now queen b3 attacking the d5. So we can just castle immediately here and bringing our bishop back. We will have a good position with white. So let's come back. We try to talk about the bishop c5 move. There are some other moves before going to knight f6. I can tell you about d6 also. If your opponent plays a d6 move, what you can play is just taking the d4 pawn immediately. And here black can choose between two systems. One is between g6 or playing bishop e7. If you play bishop e7, you have to just normally develop your pieces like this. And here, very important move I discovered. Okay, I watched a lot of games with h3, because after knight e5, you can play bishop d3. So this idea is useless for black, because if you play c5, you can come back knight f3. Now our h3 idea is revealed, because we are not going to allow him to play bishop g4. So if you play c4, we can just take on e5. If we take b3, we can come back with our knight, take c2, queen c2, and you can see this d6 pawn is in a very big danger. We can play rook d1, bishop f4, doubling our rooks. We can attack the weakness on there. So if black decides to play with something like g6 ideas, we have to play for queenside castling to catch this king here. We will play knight c3, bishop e3, f3, stopping the knight g4 idea, and then we want to play queen d2 actually. Before that, we have to make a very important move. Knight takes c6, queen d2. This is very important exchange. Maybe it seems like giving a black good chance of opening a b file, but it's not like this. After bishop b6, bishop b3, bishop is closing the fully b file, so black cannot do anything. Queen e7, now castle queenside. If it starts attack here, now very important move, guys. Don't forget this move. Bishop to a4. This move is simply defending a4 plan and just stopping all the threats coming on the queen side. Now what we want to do, we are going to start our attack on the king side, of course, with a famous plan of bishop h6, taking the g7, and now start pushing the pawns, destroy the king cover there, and just you can catch the black's king here, h4, and you are going to just push your pawns forward. So we try to cover all the moves here. Now it comes to the final move, knight f6. If black plays knight f6, we are going to play e5. So if black tries to play something like knight e4, again, like moves like queen e2 is a good option to continue. If knight c5, play on the Gambit style, guys. Play c3 move. This is a very nice way. If you take the c3 pawn, you can just take with the knight, bishop e7, just bishop e3 after castling, and then you can play rook a d1. And this is a very good position for white. We are pawned on, but we have a very, very nice initiative in the position. We can play rook d1 after knight e6. We can go knight e4, starting attack by something like h4, knight g5. We can bring our bishop to d3 also, controlling the good diagonals too. So if the opponent goes for knight g4, we can just simply castling, making him a trap. If it takes our pawn on e5, we can just catch him with a pinning idea. So better for him to play something like Bishop e7 move, then we can play rook e1. Now my idea is simple. I want to play h3. This knight doesn't have a good square to come back. If d6, pawn take. After bishop g5, knight e5, we can take the e7 and take the just defend the bishop and just take the d4 pawn. Knight a3 and just take the d4 pawn. As you can see, this position also I like it with white because black has an isolated pawn here and it would be very, very difficult for him to handle the situation. So this position after bishop e7, rook e1, d6 take, and if it takes with the queen also, this is also another way of playing this position, but I don't recommend this one because we have a lot of resources to play. We can play something like b3 with attacking with bishop a3 ideas. I like this also. We can play knight a3 with the idea knight b5. So many options are there. So anytime also we can aim for h3. This knight comes back. We can bring our bishop to the game and we will have a good position. So let's come back to the main move. After e5, black best move is d5. We will go bishop b5. We are not going to take the knight, guys. This is not a correct way to play. We will play bishop b5, keeping the tension. If you play knight d7, we just simply castling. He cannot take the pawn. We can play rook e1. And now my idea is to take the d4, playing f4, f5, and starting attack on the king side. We will see this plan later. After knight e4, this is the best move for black. We will take the d4 pawn. And now here we have two options for black. One of them is bishop c5, an attacking system for black. But we will play just simply bishop e3. And if he tries to castle here, we will take on c6, take on c5, we will take on c6 here also. We are getting a pawn, but we have to give it back. Just remember something like bishop a6 is not working here. Just don't take the rook, play knight c3, queen d2, castle queen side. This is the best, or queen d4 even. So if he play like this, just watch out for this one. You can analyze it with the engine also. This position is little tricky, but white is totally better. And if he plays rook b8, you can just capture the d5 and then play castle. And later you can play knight c3. Okay, we are going to give up this pawn here. Of course, we cannot do anything here. We have to give up the pawn. After rook b2, we can play knight c3 and just bringing our pieces to the game. Queen d4, and we can play the position. So instead of bishop c5, the main move for black is bishop d7. We will take on c6. Bishop c6 is not possible. This bishop will be in a very bad position. After pawn take, castle. And now here, after bishop c5, the best move here for black. If you push the pawn forward with c5, we can come back with knight b3. And for example, if you play c6, we can just aim for an important move here, c4. The idea is if we take, we are just coming back, we will take back the pawn with a strong attack. Why I'm playing the c4 move, just limiting this pawn structure, guys. This is very important plan for white here. And we have to know this. If we take knight d2, knight d2, knight d2, we are getting a very good position with white here. So instead, if black plays bishop c5, I'm going to play f3. So my plan is just simply to push f4, f5, but I'm going to make it with f3 and then f4 because I'm going to get a tempo by this move. Knight g5, bishop b3. After he plays something like castle or bishop b6, we will cover both of them. If you play castle, we can just aim for f4. And if he plays knight e4 back, we can play knight d2, exchanging the knights. Look at to this position. Remember the main important idea in this position. We want to play f5, and more important than we want to play knight b3 and control the c5 square and not allowing black to play c5. So let's see. f6, knight b3, bishop b6, queen c3. And after queen e7, I will put my knight here and no one can touch this knight. Later on, I can play a4, a5. Even I can play b4 to have my knight completely solid there. So f takes c5, f takes c5, rook e8, rook a e1. And here is a very famous trap. He cannot take the e5 pawn, guys. This is very important because there is a very good tactic here called rook f8. If you take with the king, I can take the d7 fork there. And if we take with the rook, we can take the e5 and it will be easily losing for black. So this pawn is completely immune here. We will play bishop d4 and then later on with the same plan as I told you. So we can talk about bishop b6 move here. Instead of black castling, we can play f4, knight e4, knight d2. Same plan, you can see. Now if we castle, I'm ready to play knight b3, and then later on my plan will be playing f5. But first I have to stop the c5 plan. After c5, knight f3, d4, bishop f2. So I want to play bishop h4, and later on with the ideas just we covered before also, he has to play castle here. We are going to stop this pawn's advancement. We will play b3, queen c8, a4. We are just not allowing him to play his pawn push here after a5. Now let's go for our main plan. Our plan is to push the pawn f5. We will play knight h4, rook a e1, and I'm going to play something like queen d3, f5, or h3, bishop g3, king h1, preparing the f5 plan, and later on f6 to attack the king. So this is the brief explanation, review of the Scotch Gambit system for white. As you can see, it's full of attacking ideas for white. I really like you to play this in your games and comment me what happened in your games. Did you able to just execute the ideas in your games or not? I'm really waiting for good news from your side. Thank you for watching our videos. Like the old time, subscribe and subscribe our channel for more ones. Thank you so much.